Welcome, everyone, to episode 242, Midlife Vices. This is our season one finale, and that's the purpose for those flashbacks there, showing everything we've had so far in season one.
I thought they were all daddy issues.
Speaking of daddy issues, this is Baddy Issues for tonight.
Nice
if this is your
segue.
first, it was nice. Jim led me right into that one. If it's your first time watching, thanks for joining us. Jim and I put the show together to talk about stuff we like, whether it's TVs, movies, comics, or wherever the conversation takes us. And each week, we're going to give you our top 10 list of random pop culture topics. This week's topic is our top 10 movie, TV show, book, cartoon villains. Top 10 villains. Whenever possible, we have guests on because honestly, like Schoolhouse Rock taught us, 3 is the magic number. Say hello to my better half, Jim, and give a big welcome to returning co-host of Didn't We Just Watch This? It's Adam. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Steve?
So I tried to say that as much like your wife as I could, Adam.
Oh my God. Every time. Didn't we just watch this?
Didn't we just watch this? Yeah. If y'all out there don't know, Adam used to do a show called help
You
me out
got
here,
it.
Adam. Yep. Tricks or Truth. And now they've kind of segued because you only run out of so many conspiracy theories and stuff like that before you don't have any ideas. So now they do a review of movies that they watch, and they actually watch it. I think you have it in the background while you're doing the show, which is kind of cool.
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing you have subtitles on?
Yes. Yeah. The first episode we didn't. And then after that, we learned pretty quickly that it's probably a good idea to have them on.
Right. Yeah. And what's going on with you, Jim?
Not a whole lot. First nice day here in quite a while. Snow's melting. So did some burning of trash. Cleaned out my garage, which is nice. Other than that, sleeping.
Cleaning out garage, that's one of those things where it's good for like a week. And
and by cleaning out the garage, I just mean like I emptied all the trash cans and burned them.
Oh, okay. Usually when I organize my garage, everything goes where it belongs. I'm like, okay, from this point on, it's kind of like the comic room too. From this point on, everything's going away in its place right away. And that lasts for about a week. And then it's like, well, I'll just set it here and I'll get that when I come back in here next time. And
See, I can't
before
even do that. I have I drive a Gator for my job, and then I also have a skid loader I park in my garage. So everything's so compact in there that now we're gonna be getting baby chicks again. So I got to find a place to move all this stuff because I got to brood the chicks in there. And
yeah,
it's a crazy life.
Yeah, cool. So other than your show, Adam, what's been going on with you?
Not a whole lot. Just trying to relax. Everyone just got over being sick again, so that's great. It's been like 2 weeks of the flu going around, kids throwing up, so that was fun. But we're getting there. We're finally getting better.
Yeah.
So
we're lucky. We didn't get the flu. We had the cold just go through our house, but
it sucks because it's like one person gets it. Then the next, like a week later, the next person gets it. And then, so it's like a month. Well, depending on how many people you have, it's like a whole month.
Yeah. And then something else comes through. Yeah.
Yep.
The benefits of not having kids around.
My youngest did not make preschool. He only goes 2 days a week. I think last week was the first time he went twice in a week since October.
Oh, man.
It was just
crazy.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. All right. So as I said, tonight we're going to be getting into our list of our top 10 villains. But first, we got a couple other things we want to do first. So we will start off with this. We'll start with you, Adam. What's the best thing you watched or read or whatever this week?
Ooh, best thing watched or read. Wow. I would say I just read, I've been reading this series called, the comic book series, Flesh-Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space. I don't know if you guys have seen, I posted like 1 or 2 issues before. It's basically the movie Slither by James Gunn. It's that, but with high school cheerleaders. So I read, I think it was issue number 3. But I really like it. I really like the movie Slither, and that's all it is. So I really, really like that. But
no, I've missed that post or that tweet.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I haven't posted about the current issue, but I think issue 1 and 2, issue 1 maybe like 2 months ago. I think it was one of my top picks too. I can't remember. But if you can, it's kind of a hard book to find because I don't even know who the publisher is. It's a really small publisher. But if you like Slither and you like kind of like alien invasion and that kind of thing, I recommend it. And Pouch would like it because so.
Well, I might have to read it.
Sold.
Yeah. Is it in Braille?
Yeah. I mean, depending on who the person reading it, yes. David.
So what about you, Jim? Other than anything different than Modern Family this week for you?
As far as TV?
Well, just as far as your best of.
Well, no, I've been reading Nightwing, the first 2 hardcovers of Nightwing. Finished up the first one, which I had read before, but I forgot how much I enjoyed that first arc.
Is that the one where he first gets the letter from Alfred?
Yes. And then, can't even remember where it ends finding out his sister, which spoilers. So
yeah, we're quite a ways into the book now. So
yeah, I just read the first comic of the second one and the whole dog kidnapping going on. I'm hoping it gets a little more intense. So because I really don't care about the dog getting kidnapped. I mean, I love dogs. Don't get me wrong, but it's not my dog. So
yeah, now we don't want to get any cards and letters from animal lovers out there that Jim hates dogs. So
you say animal lovers?
Animal.
Okay.
Dog lovers. Yes.
I don't think I've even watched any Modern Family this week.
No.
I've been rewatching a lot of Now We Feast, Hot Ones. I've been watching a lot of those episodes.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of that. I think that guy's a great interviewer.
I've never watched it.
That's the one where they eat like spicy wings and stuff.
Wings.
And okay.
Yeah. That guy is a very good interviewer. I mean, I can't believe how good he is sometimes.
So I guess for I saw an estimate Super Bowl weekend, America is estimated to eat 2.45 billion chicken wings this year.
Wow.
2.45 billion, which is up from last year. Of course, everybody's finally having gatherings and stuff again, so the numbers do go up. But it works out to per adult about 7 wings per U.S. adult if everybody was eating them. So,
nice.
America. All right. My best of the week this week is White Lotus. White Lotus on HBO Max. I recommended this show to Jim. He didn't care much for it. Not his kind of comedy, which is cool. But for
I've never heard of it.
No? Check it out. It's I'm going to do a little review here, but people show up at a hotel and stuff happens. It's kind of a dark comedy. Yeah, it's interesting. I think you'll. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you'll enjoy it or not, Adam, but I think you'll have a good time. We're currently watching season 2. We're almost to the end. And oh man, I just forgot her name.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza's in it, and she plays herself, but it's just, well, not herself, but the same character she always plays, and it's just fantastic.
And you said I really like her.
Max? I wish
HBO Max, yes.
I wish she was in season 1.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you don't have to watch season 1 to watch season 2.
So there's a couple actors I know in that show.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of them was a friends, the British speaking friend of theirs. She's
Stifler's mom. Yeah.
Yes. And Plop from The Office is in it.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember his real name in the show or in real life. So
I can't either. But,
me neither.
Yeah. I mean, me and my wife. Now, last week I tried to do a review and it didn't go so well. So I'm going to keep attempting this. I pretty much think I got all the kinks worked out. this week. So this White Lotus season 1 begins by showing us that someone has died, and then it goes back a week to a group of people arriving in Hawaii to stay at the White Lotus Hotel Resort. And so, it's just continues like that for the whole season. But I mean, we're just laughing the whole way through, and it's really good, really good.
So was it the testicular cancer you found funny?
That whole storyline is pretty funny. Like if you get past that part of it. Now this is a very adult show. It is. I probably should have warned you about that, Jim. We
don't watch anything with the kids awake.
No, but I mean, it is very, very adult. It's HBO, like definitely. That was hilarious. Like we cracked up at that, but that whole storyline going forward gets even funnier. Like you don't see that stuff again, but just
it's a whole lot of it right away.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
So hopefully
it wasn't my favorite show. It's just not my kind of humor. So
yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I'll start because I'll stop because I don't want to spoil any more of it. So yeah, cool. Highly recommend if you like that kind of comedy. And you won't know what kind of comedy it is until you watch it. This is week 4 of our going on a jog. I think this is going to be the last week. Did we decide that's going to be the last week, Jim, that we do these books? I mean, not that we're going to stop reading them, but we're going to try and move on to.
If we did decide that, I don't remember it.
I thought we mentioned it last week that during the show.
I don't know. I was
you may have been sleeping. Yeah, but we're on week 4 of Jeff Johns' Justice Society of America, Robert Kirkman's Invincible, and somebody's Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Sorry.
Very nice.
You read any of these books, Adam?
I haven't read them. I know about Invincible though, and I watched the show that they had, the animated show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I like that. But I know about Squirrel Girl, but I've never read anything.
Right.
So
neither have we. And for people who haven't seen this segment before, if you're watching, we took these 3 books that we never would have read before, and each week we're doing just one issue as we go forward and doing just a real quick basic review on it, whether we liked it or didn't like it. So I'm going to, this week, Jim, what do you got for us? I'll let you go ahead and start.
Oh, let's see. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl continues to be funny.
Yeah.
Continues to make me laugh. I kind of saw the roommate figuring it out. And then I did not see her getting the squirrel body of armor. I enjoyed that.
That was pretty cool, huh? Almost like a is it not Sandman? In Spider-Man, the mud guy. Oh man, I'm just so horrible at this.
Yeah. Well, you're not getting
the guy played by the guy who plays Lowell in Wings, in the Spider-Man movie, in Spider-Man 3.
Thomas Church Hayden?
Huh?
Thomas Church
Is it Sandman? It is Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman.
Yeah, okay.
It's Thomas Church
Hayden.
Yeah, okay. So it is Sandman. I had it right before I talked myself out of it. All right. But yeah, so the squirrel suit's kind of like that, kind of the way it envelops. And just the fact that she leaves it and lets them, that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah. I don't know if you've watched any of our reviews on this book in the other episodes, Adam. It is not a serious book. It's you go into it, you know what you're getting. It's kind of preteen humor, but it's pretty witty. It really makes me laugh. It's
like I mentioned last week, it's almost like early Spider-Man was, like 1960s type Spider-Man with the way it goes. And for me, the best part continues to be the text, the subtext.
Yes.
to the story. The narration is great.
I did enjoy her befriending Galactus.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody who can befriend Galactus, and it was pretty smart the way she did it too. So I thought that was good writing.
Yes.
So what are you giving that one this week?
Oh, probably only 3 pouches. Let's see. JSA continues to be good now. Baby Fate, Old Man Fate.
That's funny you sent me that picture.
This baby that looks like he has a 70-year-old man's face on him just cracked me up. But it's getting good. It reminds me it's Jeff Johns writing well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
So in this one, 3 groups of people go out looking for 3 different babies that may be the new Dr. Fate reincarnated, basically. Or is that the last issue?
That was the last issue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what happened in this one? Remind me.
So they found the baby, and then
right.
What's his name? Mondru, the Star Spangled Girl, comes and jumps in, and she gets taken some temporary heaven thing, and the old Dr. Fate tells her what to do, and then she puts a scarab
that's right.
Puts a scarab on the baby, and
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I still don't know the people well enough to care about any of them, but at least the plot's making sense to me, and I know what they want to do. And
yeah, it's starting to focus a little more on individual characters instead of 15 of them, 15 brand new characters all at once. Yeah.
When did this? Do we know what year the series came out?
2003, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I would recommend this one. You would have to really enjoy team ups and have some basic understanding of the JSA, which I had none going in. I was lost the first 2 issues. Not a clue what was going on.
I think Adam might enjoy it. I think it might be a...
Yeah. And then Invincible. That was... I enjoyed Invincible. Probably more so than JSA, actually. The dad come back from another dimension, and there's something.
And it had been 6 months for him, right?
Huh?
Yeah, it had been 6 months for him, right?
But 6 months for him, and yeah, a week or so for them. But there was something odd about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I like that. I'm not a big fan of that robot character. Now, did you notice how seductively they drew the high school girl he has a crush on?
No.
Every panel of her is her in. You can like highlight in her butt, or it's just weird.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic Jeff Johns.
Yeah. I mean, that might get my couch. So
that might get. Yeah, it could for sure.
But so there's only been 2 times where I've been reading comics that I've noticed stuff like that. One was Jim Lee in Hush. I mean, it was like every panel, a girl's in a seductive position or something. I was like, what is going on? I was like, what am I reading here? But and then this issue of Invincible, it just it's like, wow. When I notice something like that, they're going all out.
So what do you rate this one at?
I think 3 for them all.
So
we're going 3 all the way across. What were you going to say, Adam?
No, I was just going to say, I wonder if it has something to do with the time that they came out. Because I can't remember when Hush was. Was that like mid 2000s?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're both the same time period.
I wonder if
Hush is later. Hush is a little bit later, but yeah.
I wonder if maybe it had something to do with the times. Maybe they were trying to reel more people in. Maybe comics was in a lull, so they were.
Could be.
That was their way of pulling people in, because I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, you mentioned Jim Lee, and like thinking back to that Hush stuff, you had Poison Ivy, Catwoman, who were very shapely.
Yes,
in everything.
And the angle of the panels were just like.
Well, it's kind of the same time frame you had Power Girl too, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Was this the Attitude Era in WWE?
Basically, yeah. That's actually, you're probably not far off. I mean, this would have been right after that, but that's kind of where we were at the time was that sort of thing. So going forward, like I said, we're through 4 issues. I will keep, I don't know. I like all the books, whether I'll keep reading them or not, I don't know. For sure, I'll keep reading Squirrel Girl. I'll keep the other 2 in my library for now. And if I get time to get around to them, I will read them. I'm more interested, I think, in JSA than I am in Invincible.
I think I'm going to finish this book in each of them. You know, since I have them in Comixology, might as well finish them.
Right.
So, and it'd be nice to be able to read more than one at a time. You know?
Right.
So.
Well, so
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, I can't remember from the past episodes, did either of you watch the Invincible cartoon?
I saw the first episode.
Okay, because I haven't read Invincible, so I was curious how much the show is faithful to the source material. But I really liked the show. I thought the show was really good.
So I know the first episode ends with. I think it's going to be pretty in line with it, but what happened in the first episode of that show has not happened yet.
Oh, okay.
In the comic.
Gotcha.
I think. Unless I watch more of the show than I remember. But
okay.
Cool. So we'll figure out what we're going to do going forward with books. It's going to be kind of tough to keep adding 3 new books after only reading 4 issues. So we may modify a couple things here and there because otherwise we're going to end up with 30 books before we're done with any of them. And you know how that goes. So we'll figure it out as we go. Maybe we'll stick with these for a little while and keep doing. We'll figure it out. Next up,
Oh, yes. Wow.
We are going to do you show me yours and I'll show you mine. So let's go ahead and start with Adam Janus.
All right. So I brought my double signed copy of Vengeance of Bane #1.
Nice.
Signed by both Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan. I think it's 2/3 of the creators of Bane. It's one of my favorite things that I own because Bane is one of anybody who knows me or follows me on Twitter, Bane's one of my favorite characters. They did a signing, I think, in 2000 or 2001, or I'm sorry, 2021, where they were both doing a signing at CGC, and that's when I sent that in.
All right.
It's one of my favorite things I have.
I didn't know Chuck Dixon was involved in that.
Yep. Yeah.
Me neither. I had no idea.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of the or worked on a lot of the Batman stuff in the I want to say it was mid 90s, early to mid 90s, I think. And a bunch of other series he did too, but obviously Bane is the one thing that I really know him from. But
I'm trying to. Because I'm pretty sure he wrote the Chuckle Saga and G.I. Joe that I really loved.
Oh, okay.
It could be.
I've never heard of him, but I figured that was you probably must have read something with him. Huh? Yeah, just name dropping. Yeah. I didn't know if you were just doing that like I was doing it.
I'm a fan of their work, but I follow them on Twitter, and I'm not really a fan of them or their beliefs, we'll say. I don't know about Dixon, but I know Nolan is one of those Comics Gate people.
Gotcha.
So I'm not really a fan of their personal beliefs and opinions, and even political wise, he's very active politically on there, which I try to stay away from. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, luckily that doesn't, when it comes to stuff like that, I read what I read and I watch what I watch, and I keep, people's personal lives as their, unless it's just ridiculous, but for the most part.
I feel like you have to separate, to a point, you have to separate that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Well, if you didn't, you wouldn't enjoy anything.
No, you wouldn't watch it. You couldn't listen to any music. You couldn't watch any shows. Probably couldn't eat at most restaurants. Like if you knew what Billy at McDonald's was doing during his off time, would you still be eating his Big Mac? Probably not.
I don't want a special sauce.
Nice. All right. Yeah, that's a nice book. I have that book. It's not graded, but it's in pretty good condition, and it's been up on my wall for quite a while. One of my favorites. Love the cover. The only thing I don't like about it is a real tight fit in the BCW showcase cases that they have for comic books because it's so thick. Is that 80 pager?
64.
64. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And I know they're coming out with one of those. I don't know how to. Is it facsimile? I don't know how to say it.
Facsimile.
Yes, they're coming out with that.
Dramamine.
Man, I didn't have any corrections for you tonight, Adam. Thanks for giving me one live on the air.
There you go. That's why I did it.
Oh, nice. All right, Jim, what do you got for us?
Well, since it was after Adam's last time on the show that he talked me into getting it, I went ahead and got Night Owl, the original.
Oh, cool. Where did you get that?
Off of eBay.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that the only figure you have from that, or do you have more?
No, you're on the show every week with me.
No, I don't mean. I mean from.
Last time Adam was on here, I showed the other two.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
oh,
I have. Yeah, no, I have Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan.
Why don't I remember that?
And I have the comedian.
Nice.
Oh, it's all right. I can't remember what I showed half the time.
No, you tried to show the same thing you showed like 3 weeks after you showed it the first time. You're like, I never showed that before. Was that last week or the week? You don't even remember doing that, do you?
Nope.
No. Okay, cool.
That's when I had to pull out the jump ropes because I was like, oh crap.
That's right. I've got a couple things this week. First, this just came in, so this is TMNT. It's another Donatello cover. It is the action figure cover. When I first got it in the mail, I opened it up and I saw that price tag on it. And it was a little PO'd, but that's actually just on the cover. That's part of the action figure look. So that is now my 4th Donatello cover I've got. So I'm going through and I actually made a list, and there's some really nice covers out there that are just Donatello. And that's kind of what I'm going after. And then I also got Green Arrow, Emerald Archer, 80 years of. I haven't taken it out of his plastic yet, but looking forward to reading that. So, yeah.
I almost bought that.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff in it. Goes back to his debut and has a bunch of different stories in there with him, with Connor Hawke, who is another Green Arrow. So yeah, that's kind of another thing I've been collecting lately.
Nice.
Pretty fun. So getting there. I've kind of narrowed my focus quite a bit on stuff, and I'm actually going to be cutting out a lot of my online orders as far as floppies go. I just put 2 months worth of books in boxes that I hadn't read, and I wasn't even interested really in reading. So I was like, why am I still buying these? I mean, I'll continue to get Amazing Spider-Man and Batman because I'm always going to get those floppies, I think. But other than that, I think I'm pretty much heading the trade route, hardcover route, and Comixology. In the past, I hated reading digitally. I didn't like it at all. And then I've been doing it more lately. And what I actually like about it is when I zoom in on it when I'm reading, it's one panel at a time. So the art's right there for you to look at. Plus, you're not seeing the next page, what's coming up next. So it's not pulling my eyes over to that. So I'm finding it a lot easier to comprehend what I'm reading that way. So really enjoying that. It's still not my preferred method. If I had a local comic shop, I would probably still be reading weekly floppies. But since I don't, yeah, kind of got away. So, okay. Where are we here?
Bruce's
What's
head
that?
looks like an acorn.
What's that?
So Booster's head looks like an acorn.
Oh, on your shirt?
Yeah.
Oh,
Making me laugh.
Yeah. Speaking of which, news and rumors. Nothing major this week for announcements, right? No new news out there. So we've got a pretty big slate of DC stuff that was announced. We didn't get that Bane that Adam was begging for, but we did get something that Jim has been asking for quite a while, and that is the Booster Gold HBO Max series. So when's that supposed to come out? Did he have a date for that one?
Not that I know.
Probably 2025 or something, or 24.
I don't think he had a date, but I can't remember the order of the lineup. I can't remember where that fell.
Yeah,
right. I think it was like the second, kind of like 2/3 of the way through or something.
Well, I think before the first thing comes out, I'm going to be 50. So
you say that like you're not already almost 49.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be 49 at the end of this year. I'm just saying I will be 50 when this stuff comes out.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool though. Booster Gold. I think that's going to be I'm hoping it's not just like a one season, 6 issue or 6 episode thing. I hope it's an ongoing series. I think there's a ton of they can do with it. I mean, they can introduce so many different characters because of the time travel aspect.
See, and that's what I'm hoping they go off of John's 52 run.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
I mean, James Gunn has definitely announced.
If they go with the silly slapstick Booster, I don't think it'll last. But
I don't think HBO Max would go that way with it.
I don't know. Look what they're doing with White Lotus.
They would. I think they would probably throw. Yeah, I think they would throw it on CW if they were going to go that route with it. So, what were you looking forward to most on that list, Andrew? Adam?
I was like, wait, Andrew.
This is
your name's not on the screen or anything.
I would say, like, honestly, okay, so I wouldn't say I was disappointed with what they announced, but I don't think I was blown away.
Yeah.
So the things that I was most excited about was Swamp Thing, because I don't know if you guys have seen the show that was just out that they canceled after one season.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Yeah.
It was really good. So I'm really excited for them to continue Swamp Thing. I mean, I know it's not going to be the same story and all that, but just to get more of that character. And then Superman, I was excited for Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And then really, I mean, The Brave and the Bold, yeah, obviously. But then the other stuff was kind of like, okay, we'll see.
Well, I think the other stuff's kind of unknown a little bit, so it's going to be interesting to see.
I just find it so hard to be excited for something coming out so far away.
Yeah.
I mean, do I want to see all of it? Yes. Yeah. But I am not sitting here chomping at the bit saying, oh, we're getting, because, when we get to when I'm 49 and a half, then I'll be like, hey, okay.
See, I think the problem with me with DC is they've been unreliable as far as like what they've announced and sticking to it. Because if you look back at all the stuff that they've announced in the past, I mean, we were supposed to have a whole, Cyborg movie, Green Lantern movie, 2 Justice Leagues movie, all by like 2020.
Yeah.
And then I think after that they announced a new.
Well, we did have 2 Justice League movies.
Yeah, 2 Justice League movies. We've had a Green Lantern movie. What are you talking about?
I mean, from 2000, I think this was all part of Zack Snyder's.
Yeah, gotcha.
Plan, which they
you're gonna have to edit. You can edit that name out later, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
no,
well, if you say it, maybe we'll get like 1,000 views.
There you go. All the algorithms will kick in, won't they?
Yes.
That's true. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe release the Janus cut.
I think Adam. I think there's direction now, though. I really feel like I'm curious about a couple too. I'm curious about the Authority.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it. I don't know what it is, so it's interesting. Brave and the Bold, I'm interested to see how far back they go with Damian. If we go back to Talia, if we get into all that stuff. That could be pretty cool. And if that gives us a Red Hood and a Nightwing and stuff in the movie as well, there's a lot of possibilities. So, but all I know is it better be.
I couldn't agree more.
Or I'm out. I don't.
I mean, the one thing I was really disappointed with though is I heard a rumor that there was going to be a Plastic Man TV show or movie, and then they didn't announce it. But then I guess he said they only announced half of the slate for their chapter 1. So
right, that was only like 5 years worth, and they have a 10-year plan. So
there's hope. I think it'd be cool to see Plastic Man.
I feel like the Authority. I feel like that's kind of his DC version of Guardians of the Galaxy, where he's taking an obscure group of people and throwing them in a movie.
But 10 years for phase 1? Well, I guess
that's pretty much what Marvel was with. Well, not phase 1, but just the whole plan. Like that's where Marvel was from 2008 to 2018 with Endgame. So
I hope
with the saga,
backup people. Just that's just a long time out.
Well, as you get older, yeah. If you're only 20 years old right now, you're only going to be 30. So it's good for kids right now.
For the first phase.
They don't make this stuff for our people our age. We're not the target demographic. So
Jim looks upset at that.
Yeah, I can't make it through the whole movie anyway. I fall asleep through it.
That's why they don't make it for us. Because we can't even stay awake for the movies.
That's right.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, you think if they were making it for people our age, they'd make movies over 3 hours? No.
They know I don't like it.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to it. The fact that there's a direction that I think they're going in, and it looks like they have a plan. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And I also I think probably my favorite thing is they announced that they're going to use the actors' voices in the animated versions of the shows. The same actors that are in the movies. So I think that'll make it easier to latch on to those animated shows a little more, to relate to them if they're the same voices from the live action. So
that don't matter to me at all.
It makes a difference to me.
It means nothing to me.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me if they didn't, but I do like the fact that they are doing that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it will help, I think. I don't want to say the continuity, but kind of like, I don't know. I think it'll hold people's attention more. You know what I mean? Like it'll make people actually want to see these other projects or play these games or whatever.
Sure.
But
yeah.
Okay.
But so yeah, that's what we have for our news this week. Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
You have a mail message.
One letter this week. This one is from Rachel from New York. Writes in and says, "Hey guys, great show last week. Jim with the jackload was kick you in the crotch, spit on your neck. Fantastic." I agree, Rachel. It was kick you in the crotch, spit on your neck. Fantastic. That's going to be a term. I've already used that term, I think, probably 3 or 4 times this week. So, yeah, I think we can get it into the mainstream. I really do. Again, we love all your cards and letters. If you'd like to comment or ask us a question, please write in. Send all letters to 1 Yemen Road, Yemen. And that takes us to our top 10 list. Again, our top 10 list this week is our top 10 villains. And we are going to start with Adam.
Number 10.
All right. My number 10, I had Elijah Price from Unbreakable. Have you guys seen Unbreakable?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So what I like about him is, like, when you think about all the messed up stuff that he's done and, like, the thousands of people that he's killed, all because he's obsessed with comic books. Like, I just think that's...
This is... Well, he was looking for someone on the other end of the spectrum from him. But, yeah, that's a very good pick. I like that pick.
Thank you.
That's a great movie, actually. I really enjoyed that movie.
It is. There's
Now,
a whole
the other movies in that franchise, I wasn't the biggest fan of them, but I thought that one was that's a great pick, Adam.
I actually like the second one better than I like Glass. What was the second one?
Split.
Split. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Split
that
was
one better.
good.
But I like the actor that's in that too. So.
Oh yeah. He was Professor X in
Professor X. Yeah. James McAvoy.
Yes.
Hey, that's 10 points for me. Actually, knowing the name, that was good. Nice pick, Adam. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good
All right,
one.
what do you got, Jim?
My number 10 is Magneto. Just a great villain, understandable motives, cool power that they use in different ways every time they show him, and it surprises me every time. And yeah, I'm actually surprised more mutants don't go to his side.
Yeah, well, there's quite a few, but yeah, you would think. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of. Who did we compare him to last week, or who did we compare to him last week?
Someone that's further down on my list.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So, comment on Magneto, Adam?
I'm not huge into X-Men with knowledge, but I do like Magneto, and I think as what I do understand about him, I kind of agree with his way of thinking. I mean, I get it. I mean, you know what I mean? Humans treat mutants like crap, and he's like, no, we're superior. We don't have to take that.
Yeah.
So I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never read him in the comics either. Everything I know is based off the movies. So, but yeah.
So you guys have some pretty intense number 10s there. My number 10, to keep with the trend here, is Wile E. Coyote.
Oh. Okay.
Wile E. Coyote. I mean, he's just fantastic. He tries so hard.
He's just trying to eat.
He's committed.
But there's other ways that he could eat. I mean, he's very committed. He'll go to any lengths. I mean, dynamite, jetpacks, anvils. Like, he doesn't care. Yeah, if he was wanting to eat, that's why I don't think he actually wants to eat the Roadrunner. I think he just wants to kill him, because an anvil, there's not going to be anything left to eat anyway. It's going to ruin all the meat. So I think he's just out to kill him. So my number 10 is Wile E. Coyote.
I like that.
Number 9.
All right, so my number 9 is bringing it to comics. Doomsday, Superman. Anybody who could go toe-to-toe with Superman and literally, I mean, beat him to death. That I feel like he deserves a spot as like a top villain, in my opinion.
Yeah. I've never read Doomsday. Don't know anything about him other than Booster Gold named him.
You have to read.
You didn't watch BVS?
Which one?
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
You don't remember? Oh, you don't remember Batman vs Superman?
Jim,
Doomsday was in that.
He's kind of.
I mean,
remember Superman dies? Yeah.
It's like a bastardized version of him, but
yeah,
it's Doomsday. But you have to read Death of Superman. Oh, it's so good. It's like it's a whole jumbo issue of just a battle. The whole book is just them fighting. It's really good.
It's like that anime Jared was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just not as slow paced.
Yeah.
From what I gather, I don't know. I'm not into anime, but
either am I.
Yeah.
Fragolina.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just every once in a while, that's coming out.
Nice. All right.
All right. My number 9 is John Doe from 7.
I almost had that.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if you call him ultra evil or ultra religious. You know, he's just scary. He's dedicated to his cause and scary.
And it makes sense. I feel like his way of thinking makes sense.
Well, he won. That's what's scary about that whole movie is everything went for his plan and it all worked. And
It's a good movie.
Yeah, just a great movie.
It is.
Great movie.
It is.
That's
Plus,
a
it
good
gave us the whole "what's in a box." What's in the box?
Yeah,
I mean, anything that gives you a meme has to be good.
yeah, that's true.
I'll go with
And
that.
plus, we know whose head it was. So
We do.
and then
Yeah.
candles. Never mind.
Nice. So
Yeah.
number 9 is John Doe. My number 9 is hasn't been in a movie yet, but will be here real soon. And I don't think that may or may not change my answer here, but my number 9 is Bowser from Mario
I almost
Brothers.
picked him.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. I'm going to
I
take.
mean,
The boys are going to go see that in the theater.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious to see what they do for Bowser, like what his what he's like in the movie. I'm looking forward to that a lot because he is just, he kidnaps princesses. He's not a nice guy. He's not a nice dragon. So,
Well, he's another one that's very committed because it's been like 30 years where he's after one girl.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Well, she doesn't age. I think we're all after
she's
that
pretty
girl.
good.
And you just found your clip for the teaser.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a hand mark across my face.
Nice. So
That's a good pick.
My number 9 is Bowser.
Number 8.
All right, so my 8th pick, Jim will like it, Ozymandias. I mean, if any, okay, well then we'll wait.
Okay.
Wait to talk about him.
Yeah, he's my favorite villain of all time.
I like that.
Okay, so my number 8 is Hans Gruber.
It's my number 6.
Okay,
Oh.
well, we will wait.
And my number 8 is Vince McMahon.
My number
Ooh.
4. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Really, if you watched wrestling at that time,
That is a great answer.
he
So much better than what I should.
like every good movie, you had the attitude era, you had Stone Cold, you had The Rock, you had all them, but without the villain to fight, it wouldn't have been even close to the same. So everybody's worked for a boss that they hated, and would have loved to give him a stunner or any of that sort of stuff. And yeah, so, and who knows? I mean, I don't think it's really that far off of Vince's actual personality anyway. So it was probably an easier role for him to play.
I think that's what's scary.
I mean, any guy who threatens to, who writes in an incest storyline with his own daughter into wrestling, so yeah, Vince McMahon.
That's a good pick. That is good.
Yeah, very good.
Number 7.
All right, so my number 7, my wife was making fun of me about this one, but it's Annie Wilkes from Misery.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've never watched this movie.
Oh, it's brutal.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, I know everything about it, but
Yeah.
She's so. I don't know what else to say about it, but she's just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Creepy.
obsessed with this author to the point where you have the famous scene, the hobbling scene, where she smashes his ankles with a sledgehammer just to keep him there. Oh my God,
and then the guy that played opposite her in the movie, he had that same look of fear in his eyes that Jason Mewes had in that picture with you.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That picture with Jason Mewes, that actually, I was a huge fan of Jay and Silent Bob.
Mm-hmm.
And then my interaction with him actually turned me off of them for years because he was such a, I don't want to swear, but he was such a bad person when I met him that I was like, wow, I'm not I don't want to support you, give you any money or anything. He was not the happiest person. But
Do you think, was he trying to stay in character, or?
I don't think so. I think part of it was my fault because it was at a Comic-Con. And he wasn't like on a panel or anything, but
Gotcha.
Kevin Smith was there. So I think he was just there to kind of like hang out with Kevin Smith.
Gotcha.
And then I saw him and I was like, oh, hey, Jay, can I get a picture with you? Blah, blah, blah. So I think that was part of it, was maybe he just didn't want to deal with that. But at the same time, you're at a Comic-Con.
Right. You're an actor. You're at a Comic-Con. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, I feel like you have to kind of be prepared for that. But I don't know. And it wasn't like I was pushy or anything. He could have said no, and I'd be like, okay.
Sure.
But it's just the way his attitude. He didn't say anything. It was all just his face and his body language.
Gotcha.
It was.
So it sounds like we found your number 6 villain.
Yeah, actually, number 3.
Oh.
No, I'm just...
All right. Number 7 for Jim.
Oh, my number 7 is Kaiser Soze, The Usual Suspects.
Ah, good one. Again, like John Doe, right?
Yeah, I just have a lot of Kevin Spacey on my list.
But I mean,
people that goes to parties with him.
A villain that wins.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I think the movie holds up.
It does.
I haven't seen it in a long time either.
So you know how there's.
I said that.
So Adam, you know how your wife always says that there's no need in watching a movie with a twist again, because you already know what's going to happen, and you always tell her that's not true. This is definitely one where that's not true. Like, you know the twist, and it doesn't make any difference in this movie.
And how good the movie is. Yeah.
Yeah, and how good the movie is.
Wasn't this where he was pretending to be like special needs, and then at the end you kind of find out that he was?
Yeah, I mean, he was a verbal candidate. He walked with a little limp. I mean, he wasn't trying to be special needs, but yeah, he was just a small-time crook. And
yeah.
Okay, I got to rewatch it. I'm writing it down because I got to rewatch that.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It is really good. Really good.
Okay.
Cool.
So my number 7.
My number 7 is Agent Smith. And mainly from the first movie, not so much the second and third, but from the first one, Agent Smith. The way he opposes Neo, the way he everything is about villainous. Him. Very villainous. Yes. The whole scene with Morpheus in the building at the end when he's got him in the chair and he takes the earphone out of his ear and just wants to torture him. And yeah, so Agent Smith is my number 7. Yeah,
I think I don't know if I missed it at all during that movie, but like I feel like watching that movie, for me, I thought he was just trying. His beef with Neo was because he wanted to keep everything within the system.
Right.
But then I feel like when we get to that interrogation scene with Morpheus, he was like, "No, I'm sick of being in this. I don't want to be in this right. loop. I don't want to." And I remember watching that and I was like blown away because I was not expecting that. Because I pegged.
Yeah, he was basically like everybody else that was in the Matrix, except he couldn't get out of it like they could. So.
Yeah, I didn't watch those movies because I don't remember them very well.
Man, just if you don't watch any others, just watch the first. I mean, I like all 4. I like all 4, but the first one is just outstanding. So
I haven't seen the 4th one.
No, it's actually really good. It came out 2 years ago, I think.
That's the one, HBO Max, right?
It's probably
came
on
out
HBO
on HBO Max, I think.
Maybe, I don't remember. It was during COVID, so.
Okay.
Or maybe it was before that. I don't remember. So that was my number 7.
Number 6.
All right. So my number 6, I don't know how familiar you guys will be with it. It's Dr. Heiter from Human Centipede.
Nope.
But knowing what the movie's about, I fully agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, I mean, I can't really, what could be worse than attaching 2 people from back to front? I mean, that's that's a whole level of just
sadistic
Yeah.
and evil.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I don't know. I feel like that should be, anybody who knows or has seen the movie or knows what it's about, I feel like that should be a top villain. Not even one that maybe you like, but it's messed up. It's wrong.
So I haven't seen that movie. Does he make it as bad for the guy in the front and the back and connect them and make a circle? Or is it really good to be in the front?
It's definitely good to be in the front.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want to be in the middle or the end, for sure.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, my number 6 is, I doubt either one of you are too familiar with him. I know Steve knows him as Cad Bane from Star Wars. He's got the big hat. He's a gunslinger. He's from the Clone Wars originally. Really like this bad guy. He actually kills people in the Star Wars universe. Other than Darth Vader, he's another villain that wipes people out. So,
what was his name?
Cad Bane.
Is he the one that has like a blue face?
Yep.
And like tubes or something?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know anything about him, but I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Almost looks like a gunslinger.
Yeah,
right?
He's a gunslinger. Yeah.
He's a gunslinger.
Yeah, he's got the big hat and
yeah. Well, he was in
Mandalorian.
Boba Fett, right? Oh, Mandalorian.
Yeah, Boba Fett, that's right.
Boba Fett, yeah, Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a live action version of him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to
Good
check that out
choice.
too.
All right.
And I think 90% of my like for him is just his look.
Yeah.
He looks really cool.
Yeah, for sure. My number 6, as we mentioned, is Hans Gruber. I mean, it's Die Hard. It's the villain in Die Hard. It's
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. My favorite scene is probably, well, there's so many favorite scenes with him, but I think when he first shoots, what's his name? The coked up. I can't even think of his name. Even though John McClane yells it over the radio at him like 20 times, I can't think of it now. Just how he's so laid back about everything. Just a great villain. He's not just a common thief.
I'm an exceptional thief.
I'm an exceptional thief. Yes.
I think I'm a fan of his accent.
Yeah. It's really good.
That does
really good. Oddly enough, I really like when he loses his accent in that movie. You know, when he pretends to be American.
Oh,
I really enjoy that.
It's a good pick.
Nice. All right.
So, for my number 5, I had Homelander from The Boys.
Ooh.
I mean, a bad Superman. He's a bad Superman, essentially. No limits. Have you guys read the comics or seen the show? Or
I've seen the first season, half of the second season, read a little bit of the comics, but didn't enjoy the comics compared to the show.
Yeah. What about you, Steve?
I haven't done either. No, I should probably watch it. I'll never read it, but I should probably watch it.
See, I'm a big, so when they announced the show, I hadn't read the books, so I was like, okay, you know what? I want to read the books first before the show comes out. The first season, read the books, finished, was ready for the show. The books, I have to say, I love the books more. I mean, you have to have that kind of taste because they are very vulgar. Mm-hmm. They're very violent. It's ultra violent. There's a lot of stuff that will make you uncomfortable when reading it. There's stuff that they can't even put on the TV because it's bad. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the difference between Homelander in the books and in the show is while the TV show, they made him more, oddly enough, it's odd to say this, but likable. Even though he'll kill anybody, but he's more likable. In the books, there's nothing redeemable about him at all.
Well,
and
so
he doesn't care.
The girl that Starlight, is that her name?
Yep.
when they bring her in, it's just the Aquaman, whatever his name is, that
The
does
Deep.
that thing. Where in the comic, it's like 3 of them. They're all there. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. What I didn't like about the comic is I didn't like. I think the humor. I I don't even mind crude humor, but repetitive humor, like the dog. I just like it just didn't work for me. I was like, ugh. So
I get that. It's a lot of like middle school
yeah,
humor. The books is like hardcore. You would think a 8th grader was writing it,
mm-hmm.
but yes, that. I recommend it though if you can get through the books. The books are so good.
Oh, there's a movie I won't bother, or if there's a show I won't bother reading.
Oh,
That's like cooking food if you got a frozen meal in the freezer. Like,
yeah, it's so good, so good. He's such a bad villain though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the books mostly.
I
But
agree. He is.
nice. All right. What's your number 5, Jim?
My number 5 is another Star Wars villain, and it's Grand Admiral Thrawn, and mostly from the books. I really enjoyed this character in the Star Wars books before Disney bought him. Probably my favorite trilogy of books of all time is the Thrawn trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Just a calculating villain that doesn't waste his troops. Just, I love him.
And if they could get a live action version right of that trilogy, it could be really good.
Well, they won't because it's not canon.
But still, I mean,
yeah, if they did those books, I would be in the theater for that.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. I just Googled him now to look at him, but
he also
has blue skin.
It's probably the most popular Star Wars book out there. I bet, or trilogy. But yeah, I bet it's.
Yeah, I mean it. Besides the role playing games, but those books made me Star Wars fan. Made me a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. So, cool.
More than any of the movies.
Right.
Okay.
So that's my number 5.
All right. My number 5 is Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. I mean, it's not a whole lot I can say, really. I mean, there's so many different rogues in the Rogues Gallery for Spider-Man, but Norman Osborn he's Superman's Lex Luthor. And he always, no matter how old he gets, no matter how overmatched he is, and he's really never overmatched. He usually overmatches Spidey. Yeah, there's so many times where he's befriended him, and then of course turned on him, or they write it back to. I hate it when they try and make him a buddy of Peter's because nobody wants to see that. So
that's kind of what's going on now, isn't it? With
yeah, I
haven't read. So I'm reading ASM. I'm loving ASM, but I stopped with the dark webs or dark web. Is it right? That's what it's called. I didn't read that storyline, so I kind of stopped reading. I'm still getting them, but I stopped reading because I didn't want to do another event. But
sure.
But yeah, I will say, as much as I like ASM, I'm not digging the whole Norman's like redeemed and he's Peter's, friend and mentor. And I know Peter doesn't really trust him. But
that's all kind of carrying over from the last arc, the last story with the Sin Eater a while back. That's all still kind of carrying over, but it's only a matter of time. I mean, it's Norman Osborn, so
yeah, I want to see him back to being evil.
Yeah,
just
for
flat
sure.
out evil.
Right. So, just nod and smile, Jim. Just nod and smile.
I will.
Okay.
Number 4.
So my number 4 is the Joker. I mean, what can you really say about him? Everybody knows who he is. Even if you're not a big Batman fan or read Batman or whatever, you know who the Joker is.
It's iconic.
I mean, he's just Yeah, what you said, he's iconic. He's like a top tier villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about him. He's just the Joker.
I mean, I don't read Batman. I own 3 Jokers, so
yeah,
I own the Killing Joke. So,
oh, that's a good one.
Yep, I'm with you there. I mean,
and usually when it comes down, when it comes to
I see you.
When it comes to Batman movies and shows, it's the talk. If it's not about who's playing Batman, it's about who the Joker is, and the Joker pretty much is what those movies are made on for the most part. So,
yep,
cool. Yep. All right, number 4 for Jim.
My number 4 is Benjamin Linus. Lost.
It's my number 1.
We're talking about it, number 1.
Okay. I've never seen Lost.
We'll get to it.
My number 4, I kind of cheated here and threw 3 of them together from Doctor Who. It is the Weeping Angels, the Daleks, and the Master. Those 3. The Daleks are Doctor Who's main enemy throughout the show. The Master is the same race as the Doctor and always trying to thwart his good doings. And then the Weeping Angels are these creepy statues that aren't a bunch of episodes that as long as you're looking at them, they're stoned, but as soon as you look away or blink, they come towards you. And then if they reach you, they kill you. They're extremely creepy.
If you have not seen that episode, Adam, I recommend everyone watch that episode of Doctor Who. It's the only episode of Doctor Who I like.
With the Weeping Angels?
No, Blink.
Oh, yeah. Blink, yeah.
Yeah, it's with the Weeping Angels.
What I know there's been a bunch of series of those, right? Which one is that? Like, how could I find it?
You can probably just do a search for Blink.
Yeah. I think Blink, it's probably...
I mean, it's a very popular episode.
It is.
There's not a whole lot of the Doctor in that episode. It's more kind of a standalone. I mean, they're all kind of standalone stories, I guess. But me and my wife watched that about 7 years ago. It's the, like I said, it's the only episode I like of Doctor Who. It made my wife watch the entire Doctor Who. So, wow. It's a really good story. It's a great story.
They're creepy. Okay. They are very creepy.
Yeah. I'm writing that down too. You said Wink?
Blink.
Oh, Blink. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Number 3.
All right. So my number 3, I have King Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice one.
I haven't read the book, so I don't know what he's like in the books. I can't imagine he's any better. But in the show, oh my God, he's such a little bastard. For me, it's like, and I'm not even a huge Game of Thrones fan. I like it, but I'm not a huge fan. But there's just something about watching or reading something, and then they make the villains so good that you just despise them. Like, I can't.
Not only do you not like that character, you don't like that actor playing other characters. That's when you know you've done a good villain. Well,
now I see him in Batman Begins, and I'm like, that little bastard.
Yep. Yeah, I just watched Batman Begins the other day, and I saw him, and I was like, oh, Joffrey.
He has no redeeming qualities. Like, man, I tried so hard. I was like, there's got to be someone in Game of Thrones. And every villain that I could think of, for some reason, has some redeeming qualities, or I could kind of see their point of view. And I don't know how Joffrey slipped my mind because,
he's just
evil.
Pure evil.
Yeah.
Like, even his death when he died. I'm not the type of person to physically react a lot, like when watching TV or whatever. But when his death, I was cheering. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, that's what you get. Oh my God, he's just thinking about him now. I'm getting like pissed off about everything he did.
See, I mean, I don't even know how he dies because I've read the first 2 books of the Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
But I have not watched past the first season of the show, and I have no real desire to. So
you should at least look up on YouTube maybe his death.
And just watch it before I can cheer.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Oh,
good.
order reaction video.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice. All right. What do you got for your number 3, Jim?
My number 3 is Old Hob. This is who we
Old
compare to
Hob.
Magneto.
That's right.
Yeah, he's from TMNT, from the IDW run. He's the leader of the Mutanimals. He kind of I almost didn't put him on my list because he plays that bad guy ally gray character. So much like Magneto does. So he's I don't know. I just think this character is cool. You know, I mean, I feel like a 12-year-old boy. Well, he's a cat and he wears a trench coat and he has guns. He's awesome. And that's really why I like him, I think. So
Yeah.
So,
He does look really cool.
What's that?
For sure.
Adam?
Oh, I just said that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Hey.
Apparently, that's all that matters.
I didn't know who he was, so I just Googled him. He has the eye patch too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look him up and read about him.
Man, we say this to every guest when TMNT comes up. The IDW run, if you haven't read that, I recommend that. It's a great comic. There's no wasted pages in that comic. They introduce a pizza delivery driver that in 5 volumes is an important character. It's unbelievable.
It's really good. Yeah, it is really, really good.
I think one of you sent me a link to like the not omnibuses, but the collected editions.
Yeah.
I think they're like $30-$40 or something.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah,
it gets pricey.
Yeah. I mean, it's not cheap, and there's like 15 of them out. So
I order like one every other month or something.
Yeah. I think I'm through 7.
Yeah.
And
I'm almost halfway through.
I got 3 more, and then I can catch up to the next 2 I have. So, well, there's one of them. There's Old Hob right there.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I knew I brought that out for a reason.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
My number 3 is Darth Vader. Darth Vader. I mean,
yeah,
from the beginning to the end, pretty much, until the very end, he is the villain. He's a villain so good that to be in the whole series and ended up in the whole series. Yeah, just great. There's nothing I don't like about him as a villain. And again, he thinks what he's doing is right.
Yeah.
So I think most villains do, other than Joffrey. He was just doing it to be an ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not even a big Star Wars fan, but I mean, how could you not like Darth Vader?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite of the Star Wars movies is Revenge of the Sith, just for him coming into his own and becoming Darth Vader. Just this, I love the scene where he shows up and he just slaughters all the kid Jedi.
The younglings. Yeah.
I mean, just that. It's, oh my God, he's a badass. And I know I probably shouldn't like that, but
yeah. Well, so I have a theory that if little kids are murdered in movies, it's generally a pretty good movie. That's terrible. But I mean, the first time I ever saw it was The Untouchables. You know, when she comes, Mister, you forgot your briefcase. Boom. You know, it's just like, man, you know what? If you kill a kid, especially in the first 10 minutes of a movie, the movie's going to be good. So,
well, I think it just shows you're willing to, you know, put it all out there.
Yeah.
No limits on the, yeah.
By killing some kids.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Number 2.
Sorry about that, Jim.
Yeah, I'm just apologizing to my mom for that whole
okay.
thing.
So my number 2 is Negan from The Walking Dead.
Mine too.
Oh, you too?
Yep.
Okay, not the show version for me, but the comic version. He's so good. I try to explain it all the time to people that haven't watched or read The Walking Dead, but maybe they're interested or whatever. He's so different in the comics compared to the TV show. especially when they get to the part where he kind of in the TV show he kind of redeems himself a little bit, and he's good
Later on, yeah.
Yeah, and he's living with them, and he's part of the community and all that. But I feel like in the books, he's just through and through. He's bad up until maybe like the last 5 issues or something, whatever. But he's just a good villain.
He is.
He's just a jerk.
I mean, even in the show, and up until he gets his throat slit and ends up in prison, and gets the whole redemption. You're never going to get there, Jim.
I know.
Gets the whole redemption story. He is, yeah. I mean, burning people's faces with irons and beating their heads in with a bat and just everything.
I mean, I know there's a lot to this, but why? It just because he's a jerk, or is
well,
there
I don't know where the book goes with it. I don't remember. The TV show, he ends up he's with his wife, and then she ends up getting killed, and so he kind of goes off on his own, and then he just starts building a group, and he just has to keep getting more and more forceful, become a dictator to maintain control, to protect his people, to feed his people. That's what he's a vicious dictator, is what he is as part of the Saviors. He thinks what he's doing is the right thing until later on down the road during his redemption story, where he finally sees what he did wrong, because he has some stuff happen to him that relates very closely to what he did to other people. But yeah, so it's one of those things they talk about a lot in The Walking Dead, the show especially. If we were to start off with Negan and his group, you might think that they were the good guys, like if the story had focused on them the whole time. Because if you look at the stuff that the good guys did, if they just come in later on in the story, you would think some of it was pretty screwed up too. So that's kind of what made The Walking Dead kind of cool. But yeah, Negan was just, yeah, definitely.
See, and I'm the opposite of you. What you just said, because you were talking about the show and how he was in the show, but I stopped watching, so I didn't really get his backstory from the show.
Right.
But from the books, just from the beginning in the books, he's an asshole.
Oh yeah.
He's a gym teacher. Mm-hmm. He's mean to the kids. He like bullies the kids.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Oh yeah. He's a dick to them. His wife has cancer. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is like the show.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So she has cancer, but in the comics, he like cheats on her. He doesn't care. She's dying and he's out cheating on her.
Oh yeah. They didn't show, no.
And then she dies, and then when she dies, he mourns her, like he's upset, and that's why he names the bat after her.
Right.
But really, with the books, he's just an asshole. There's like no other explanation. He's just a bad guy.
Now in the TV show, the backstory came after they were already starting his redemption story, so they didn't make him out to be that way all the way through. They started him off as a nice guy who changed because of the circumstances that happened. So, but yeah, so all right. Number 2. What's your number 2, Jim?
Number 2 is Cobra Commander, G.I. Joe.
There you go.
I mean, he's iconic. He's and don't matter what version you like, silver mask, hood. I prefer the hood. I've always liked the hood. That voice, his retreating all the time. I mean, he's like the villain you want to go against. They don't kill anyone. He's really not that bad of a guy. He has money. He's probably doing great for the economy. Take him off my list. No, yeah, he's just like, this is pure nostalgia.
Sure, cool.
That's all it is.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know anything about G.I. Joe, but I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a good movie of him, but everything's been pretty much crap.
Number 1.
Our number 1.
All right, so I don't think this is going to be a surprise to you guys.
Just hold the comic up again.
Bane.
Yeah.
I mean, what I like about him in the whole rogues gallery of Batman villains is he's the only villain who has beaten Batman in every way, shape, form, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. I mean, I feel like he's a really underrated villain when it comes to, people. Not a lot of people know about him. He was one of the first people to just deduce who Batman was, just because he's super smart. He knew who Batman was. He knew Bruce Wayne broke into the Batcave without any issues. Super smart. He literally breaks Batman in half. He's a great villain, and I feel like more people should read up on Bane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm someone that knows nothing about Bane.
Well, even in the modern stuff, right? I mean, he killed Alfred, right? Or yeah.
So I did not know that.
Yeah, that's another thing he did. He right in front of Damian, he had Damian tied up, and he was basically like, "This is, all that training with Batman, your dad, whatever, and you can't do anything. You're gonna watch me kill Alfred." And then he just twists his neck all the way around and kills him.
Like in their dining room, at the dining room table,
Yeah.
basically, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he had
and the whole thing with that gym too, like Adam was saying, was the whole thing, that the way it was planned out from the beginning in City of Bane, and where it went through the whole line of things. It was just, he was ahead of Batman the whole entire way. Always one step ahead.
I highly recommend, if you don't know much about Bane, I highly recommend reading the Nightfall storyline, which that's when he was first introduced. It's really good. It details how, he was born into prison. He was afraid of bats, and then he basically built himself up to be, this like super powerful alpha male. And then he hears about this one man who protects a whole city, and he's like, I could take him out. And that's why he goes to Gotham. Like, it's that simple. He just wants to go to prove that he is the best. And then he wears him down. He wears Batman down for like 6 months, breaks into the Batcave, and then just beats the crap out of him, and then cripples him. Nightfall is really good. It's long, but it's really good.
Okay.
Nice. And we already mentioned our number one.
No, my number one is Ozymandias.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I think my favorite thing about him is the I am not a comic book villain. Even though he is. I love that he has a plan, he executes his plan, and his plan is successful.
He tricks. He's so good at being a villain. He tricks the most powerful being in the world, in the galaxy. He tricks him, and he wins. Like, it's just, he's a great villain.
Yeah, he smartest man alive. Now, did you like the Watchmen HBO series?
I liked it. It wasn't great.
I'm having trouble remembering it, or his role in it, but
I'm with you. I really don't.
I know his daughter is the main bad.
Wasn't he? I don't know why. I could be wrong, but wasn't he at like a lighthouse or something, or he was like off on some kind of island?
He was, and
he couldn't remember who he was or something. Or
it was like a different reality or something, right?
No,
no,
I can't remember.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember. He had the butlers and the people he was launching into space. He was spelling something on the anyway. Yeah.
He was like trying to get back to. Wasn't he trying to get back to his planet or something? Or
I think Dr. Manhattan had him. Was it Dr. Manhattan? Anyway, I don't know, but anyway, he's just.
That's why I thought it was like a different reality that he was trapped in.
It almost is, but not quite. I'm gonna have to rewatch this series.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it too. At least in the comic books, he's
a step ahead of everyone the entire time. I mean, without him, there's no story. There's no. Yeah, he's just great. He's got a cool cat. What's not to love? It's like He-Man before he.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
it's not a character I would ever collect. Like I collect Cobra Commander, but it, I don't know. I've always found that character to be the smartest villain I've ever read. So
Nice. Cool. All right. My number one, we already mentioned it, is Benjamin Linus from Lost. Ben Linus, leader of the others. He comes into the show in season 2. They capture him out in the jungle and bring him back and lock him up. And originally he was, again, like I mentioned with the prior character, he was not supposed to be in it past those couple episodes. He was never supposed to be the leader of the others. But he was so good at it that they basically rewrote that whole part of the script for it. He was one step ahead the whole time. He was in on everything.
Even when he wasn't a step ahead, he was finding a way to get back there during the show. It was, he's a great villain.
Yes. Just a Weasley little guy that gets the crap beat out of him 100 times and still ends up
he does have kind of a redemptive arc, but
he does at the end, sure. Yeah. I wish they would have done a story about that part of it. Yeah, I would love to see the two of them running the island. That would be pretty cool.
Now, you say you've never seen Lost?
I think I may have seen the first 2 episodes. But
I watched the pilot probably 4 times, and then I was like, I just can't get past it. And then she's like, oh, just keep going. And so me and my wife made ourselves, and we ended up loving the show.
Yeah. That's what I've heard from a lot of people, that once you get into it, once you get to a certain point in the show, that it's addicting. It's good.
Yeah, and people don't like the ending. We love the ending. We had no problem.
I liked it. The thing with this show, Adam. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
The thing with this show is that this show is the reason. I mean, there were a couple other shows, but this show is the main reason that everybody expects every show to have a twist now. J.J. Abrams and Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, the way they wrote it. And ever since then, everybody looks for everything to have a twist, everything's speculating about, message boards and stuff like that going on. Yeah.
Who we just mentioned, J.J. Abrams, David Lindelof, Brian K. Vaughan were all writers on this show.
Yeah. Lindelof did Watchmen, the show, right?
Yeah, Lindelof did Watchmen. Brian K. Vaughan is writing Saga, wrote all these great comics. Why the Last Man? Some great writers on this show.
Yeah,
and there are some plot holes. Don't get me wrong, but overall, it's just
Is it streaming somewhere?
What's that?
Is it streaming somewhere?
Where did I watch it? Hulu? It might be on Hulu.
Okay.
I can't remember where I watched it. Let's put it this way. I bought
Hulu. It's on Hulu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had to watch it with commercials, so we were watching. It was over an hour for us to watch, and there's 24 episodes in the first couple seasons, so it was like it does take a while to get through it.
6 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Season 4 is pretty short because that was the strike season, writer's strike and all that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good list. That was fun. We didn't double up on too many things. Any honorable mentions? Any honorable mentions? Nobody mentioned Lex Luthor.
I did have a couple.
Yeah, I have a couple too.
Wait, before we go any further, I think you mentioned 2 Batman villains, right? Bane and
Joker and Bane.
Joker.
Okay. So
I nailed it. I nailed it.
Yep. We did an over under.
Oh, okay. I think my list is pretty surprising. I mean,
it's good.
I don't think it's too predictable, except for Bane, maybe.
No, I mean, that was the only one. I said Bane's is number 1, right? And he said, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Okay, Adam, give us an honorable mention.
All right, so one of she was really close to making the list. Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction.
Oh, that's a good
another
one.
movie I've never seen.
Oh, it's so good. I don't know.
It
I
is.
think with Crazy Women for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know if that says bad about them or you.
Yeah, right upstairs. She's right upstairs. But she's just the way that she's played. It's Glenn Close, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Glenn Close. I mean, she's crazy. She's just crazy. She meets a guy. They have I think it's a one-night stand, and then she's just in love / obsessed, and then from there, just tortures the guy mentally. It's a really good movie. She's a great villain. You definitely should check it out.
Okay. Let's see, I got Megatron from Transformers. Honorable mention. Who doesn't want to robot that turns into a gun?
Right. Yeah.
Steve?
I had a couple of Frieza from Dragon Ball. And Lex Luthor was on my honorable mentions.
Adam, you got any more?
I have one more. Guy Woodhouse from Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh,
That's one I've never seen, but
So Rosemary's Baby is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's probably, I think it's in my top 5 somewhere.
yeah.
Basically, he's a husband who sells his wife's soul and their firstborn child for success on Broadway. So he sells their souls to the devil just so he can have a little bit of success on Broadway. I mean, to me, that's pretty evil. You're giving up your wife, your unborn child, just
that's pretty evil.
Yeah.
I can't recommend that movie enough. I love Rosemary's Baby. Such a good movie.
So let's see. I have Mr. Freeze, who is probably my favorite Batman villain. Terminator and Gollum.
Gollum's good. Khan from Wrath of Khan.
But I actually thought about him. I just don't remember the movie that well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton. There's so many out there, and we didn't even get into the horror movie. You know, Freddy and Jason and Michael and.
Well, we got the doctor from the Centipede.
Yes, that's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need. Yeah, this was a fun list. I mean, I had a lot of fun making it. My wife was yelling at me, "What about this person? What about this person?" I'm like, "They're not top 10 worthy for me."
Right.
It was a lot of fun putting this list together, though.
What did you tell me about? Who from The Office did you want on there?
She was like, "What about Jan from The Office?" And then I was like thinking, I'm like, "Oh, I mean, yeah, she's good, but she's not top 10 for me."
Yeah.
And that's
Charles.
Was it Steve said? Charles. Yeah, Charles.
No, I said.
No,
Charles.
Jim said Charles.
Jim said Charles. And then
I said Jim. Jim's the secret villain. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't send me your cards and letters. Thank you. Yeah. So many. I almost had Gary from Gary's Old Town Tavern.
I don't know who that is.
From Cheers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a great one.
Yeah. But so many. But yeah, fun list. So outside the list, what do you got coming up for your show next, Adam? On didn't we just watch this? So
we actually just recorded the new episode that's going to drop, I think, Monday. It's Barbarian. I don't know if you guys have seen Barbarian. Mm-mm. It's a good horror movie. It's on HBO Max. I recommend it. It's good if you like horror. There's a nice twist in it, and what's great about it is it's a movie that starts off one way, and you think when you're watching it, you think, okay, this is obvious. It's going this way, and then 25 minutes in, they just flip it, and you do not see it coming. It's a good movie.
Are you planning on sticking with just horror movies?
No. So my wife was yelling at me because we're both big horror fans, but a lot of my movies that when she would say, okay, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? A lot of them were horror because I just like horror movies. But no, we're doing Barbarian now. And then the next one is going to be Mean Girls, which is I love that movie. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I'm not, but
It's-
I will probably try to watch that one.
It's good. I mean, I love that movie. I got so many quotes from them. I quote that movie all the time. I recommend it. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere or not, but
Okay.
yeah,
Probably.
Mean Girls. But yeah, we're gonna try to hit everything: rom-coms, comedies, dramas,
Cool.
action. We're taking
Yeah.
suggestions from people. We're always looking for something that maybe we haven't seen that somebody else has seen, is very passionate about, whether they
Right.
like it or hate it.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, there you go.
Is that with Tim Allen?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen it, but I
So it's a top 5 movie all time for me.
oh
Yeah.
okay.
And it's a light movie with it's like making a movie about comic books creators and interacting with, and I can't do this right. It's probably the best Star Trek movie I've ever seen. Let's put it that way. It talks about the fans without making fun of the fans.
Right.
So
Okay.
I love this movie. And it's not like deep or heavy, but there's a great cast. It's very funny. I mean, Alan Rickman, Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, who plays the red shirt? The guy.
I can't remember.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
it's good.
uh,
It's good.
Tony Shalhoub. It's an unbelievable cast for this movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wrote
it's
that
funny.
down.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, you
that,
guys are doing
I'm listening to that the second it drops.
I'm
to
really
see
enjoying
that.
listening to your guys' show. I've only listened to a couple because I haven't seen them all, so I'm trying to watch before I
That's what
listen.
told
You
him I
guys
haven't
always
listened to one 'cause I haven't seen them
recommend.
all. I haven't seen any of them.
But
You
the
got to watch
menu,
Human Centipede.
that's all right. But the menu was a great episode. Really
Oh
liked
yeah,
that one.
your review last
Yeah.
episode of the menu. You really liked
Yeah.
it.
I loved it. Yeah,
Yeah. I thought the
It's like
menu was great.
it's pretty much my movie of the year so far, I think.
Through February 3rd.
No, I mean like within the last 365 days.
It's
Although I
it
like
was-
Glass Onion too, so
It was surprisingly good. Like I thought I would like it seeing the trailer, but
Yeah.
I liked it more than I thought I would.
and I liked. I think Jen asked you if you thought it was that they were going to end up eating each other, and I thought the same thing from the beginning. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not saying they did or didn't, Jim. I'm just saying I thought that from the previews.
What's on the menu?
If that's what was going to happen, so
yeah. I don't
So good.
want to say too much because I don't want to ruin
No.
it for Jim. But it's another movie that you may think is going one way, but it
yeah,
doesn't really go that way.
Yep.
Uh,
it's good.
Yeah,
I don't wanna
almost
say
threw
any
it
more
on the
about it,
other
but-
night, and I don't know. I have such a hard time getting excited for horror movies, and my
It's
wife.
not. I wouldn't
is
call it
looking-
horror though. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's very light horror,
yeah,
if there is such a thing.
It's dark, but it's like a
Dark comedy or a light horror.
It's dark,
Yeah.
but it's kind of light.
No, it's dark
hard to
comedy or it's light
describe.
horror. We laughed a lot.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's not
But
a straight
anyway.
up. It's not a straight up horror movie, slasher movie, or anything like that. It's hard to. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Shaun of the Dead, but not that goofy. It's not that
Yeah.
slapstick.
no,
But it's dark comedy.
yeah,
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good recommendation there because I do like Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I love Shaun of the Dead. That's one of my favorite zombie movies is Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever seen flashback scenes where they gave different versions of what happened. I really enjoyed that.
I
Go
love
there,
it. My
punch him in
wife
the
hates
face
it.
and, hit him with a shovel. It just
My wife hates that movie because I'll watch it whenever. I could watch it every day. I don't care. It's such a good movie.
yeah.
But Steve was probably right. It's not exactly like Shaun of the Dead, but just in the sense that it's horror, but it's funny.
Okay.
It's a dark sense. You have to have a dark sense of humor.
Okay.
I think you'll like it if you watch it.
I mean I plan on checking it out. It's right there on my TV. It's on HBO Max. I can watch it.
Yeah.
Why not try it?
Right. Cool. All right. So that is going to do it for us for episode 20 of Midlife Vices. This is the end of season 1. Next episode will be the beginning of season 2. What does that mean? Who knows? We have no idea. You're going to have to come back for season 2 to find out. Thanks so much for being here, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Definitely. Always good to have somebody on here. And
Anybody.
that is all.
Anybody.
Yeah, that's right. We asked like 8 people before you finally said yes. So
I'm glad I could come through.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to help
2.
out.
that's right. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Any last words?
No, I have nothing.
All righty. Then we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching Midlife Vices.
Take care.
Take care.